What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. So it may have been about maybe 2 months ago that I did a video. Some other brothers here on the LDBC did a video about these allegations that popped up against former heavyweight boxing champion George Foreman. Two women who are now in their 60s claim that 50 years ago or so, George Foreman sexually abused them, right, when they were underage. So now it's official, these charges against them, because they have retained the services of a lawyer, all right? So, from what I could gather, they claim that they are the daughters of former business associates of George Foreman. And that supposedly Foreman groomed them from, the time they were 8, 9 years old, 10 years old to be sexually responsive to him or to be, his sex slaves or whatever the fuck these allegations are. At the end of the day, I know that we don't know exactly what happened, but I will say this. I'm really getting tired of these types of cases, man. I'm really getting sick and tired of these types of cases, and I'm going to tell you why. Number one, for 70 fucking years, right, the relatives of Emmett Till, supporters behind the movement to get justice for Emmett Till, have tried in vain, unsuccessfully, even though we saw what happened to Emmett Till. We saw the evidence, the pictures, to show what happened. Not just hearsay. It ain't no Jimmy Hoffa shit. We saw the body. We saw what they did. These men admitted after they got off that they did it. We have a person of interest who is, at least of this recording, still alive, who was pretty much responsible for this whole situation. And there's never been any justice done for that. And we've been waiting 70 plus, almost 70 years, right? But these situations, there's never any actual physical evidence, right? And it's not a situation where they're seeking justice. If somebody committed a crime against you, don't you want that person to go to prison? Why is it with all of these allegations, it's always a fucking cash grab? Always. It's always a fucking cash grab. This is nothing but a cash grab. I wouldn't be surprised if it's a situation where, George Foreman is fabulously wealthy. I don't know how wealthy, but he's made way more money as a businessman than he did as a fighter. Let me see something. He got to be worth at least $150 million. Let me see, George Foreman. I mean, I know these things aren't totally accurate, but I've been holding him short. He's worth $300 million. If you're a former business partner of his and you're not doing very well, right, and, you find out that George Foreman may have indeed fucked your daughter when she was 18 or 19. He fucked your white daughter when he was 18 or 19. In your mind, you gotta make that nigga pay for that. So you shave off a couple of years, and you concoct. You suggest that she go out there and tell some story that meets the criteria for it. Even though it was consensual, we got to make sure you're underage. We got to make sure you're underage so this thing can make sense. If I'm not mistaken, I think the amount that he's being sued for is $25 million. I think it's $25 million or something like that. At the end of the day, I don't believe it. I'm more inclined to believe that if you told me George Foreman stole a powerful windowsill. I'm more inclined to believe that than to believe that he did that. And even if George Foreman was sexually promiscuous, who gives a fuck? It was the 70s. Okay? At the end of the day, I'm getting real tired of this assault on masculinity, which is all I see this shit as. Whether you're talking about Deshaun Watson or this, all this shit is an assault on black male masculinity and male masculinity in general. They want a world where women are the pursuers, we become the cuckold beta male pursuees. That's all this bullshit's about, man. Fuck all of this shit. Everyone has a problem with masculinity. And black men are the face of masculinity oftentimes. I mean, we advertise it in our culture, and people are targeting us. And at the end of the day, this shit is getting ridiculous. George Foreman is in the twilight of his life, and once again, you have another black figure who is being, whose reputation is being distorted by this bullshit. I wouldn't be surprised now that Sidney Poitier is no longer here. You're going to hear somebody going to claim that he did something. Well, back in 1953, he looked at my ass, and it made me uncomfortable. And I told Sidney, look, I know I'm a have a big ass for a Jewish white girl, but don't look at me like that. And he said, you don't tell me what to do with my eyes, bitch. And I want to sue because he hurt my feelings. I was a victim. So I'm entitled to that money. How much is his estate worth? I want half. Fuck these motherfuckers. Don't get me wrong. There are actual real victims of sexual abuse. But enough is enough. Okay? This shit is ridiculous. This shit is stupid. It's just a waste of time, But that's all I got to say about it, man. It's up to you guys think.